everyone, it's Lainey and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing an August TBR video and I'm planning on picking like 3 to 4 books. I realized that when I finished Alchemized, which reading vlog will be coming soon, I promise. I'm in the midst of editing it right now. That will be coming probably sometime next week. This one I'm probably going to upload before that. But anyway, I realized that Alchemized is 1,024 pages and that's about 3.5-ish books. And that means I would have read 4 books in the month of July had Alchemized been split up into separate books. But anyway, I've decided that I'm going to pick 4 books for the month of August, and I have this cute little anime Inuyasha mug that I've put all of the titles of my books that are currently on my bookshelf in here on little slips of paper. Their titles are here. Anyway, let's stop yapping, let's start picking. So I've mangled the jar, shaking it. The first book we have on our August TBR is Project Hail Mary. Love the movie, bawled my eyes out so many times. It's just basically about this scientist named Rylan Grace, I'm pretty sure is his name. And there's this thing called astrophage, and it's basically wiping out the sun. And if the sun gets wiped out, then everybody on Earth dies. So he gets sent up with a bunch of astronauts. He figures out that all the astronauts he was taken up to space with dies. And so he's basically just a middle school science teacher. So he doesn't have like real world scientific experience. So the government kind of just like chances him and takes him up basically on this like suicide mission because there's not enough astrophage to bring him back to Earth. He just has to go fix it and then basically be like, well,
I did it and now I'm going to perish in space.
But then he ends up meeting this like alien and you know, it just kind of takes off from there. It's a lot about friendship and self-sacrifice, and I really like the movie, so I am excited to start reading this in the month of August. Next book, just to prove that I'm not cheating. All right, the next one is no, it was Lovely War. We're not reading that. I put that on my TBR for so long. It makes me not want to read it the more that it's been on my TBR, and I just like haven't read it yet. So maybe we'll save that book for next month. Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. That's exciting. So this is the first book in her first adult fantasy series, I believe. It just came out like this past year. This is the sprayed edges version. I got this used at a bookstore, and they only had the sprayed edges version. Normally I wouldn't get the sprayed edges of a book, 1, I've never read before, and 2, when it's like, I just hit myself in the face with the book. And 2, if it's only like 1 solid color, I don't really understand the point of solid color sprayed edges. But anyway, it says, local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. It's giving kind of like magical realism. I'm not entirely sure if that is the genre, but I have always loved Stephanie Garber's writing. I rated the Carvel series a 5-star. Actually, I think I rated Carvel 5-star, didn't like Legendary, and then I never got around to Finale, so maybe that is a book series that we will be reading, because I do want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I do love Stephanie Garber's writing. It's very like lyrical and magical and stuff, so I am excited to kind of see like what her new adult fantasy book series is about. On to the third pick. Really shake this baby up. We have Filthy Rich Fae. Oh my god, I never in a million years figured I'd pull this book, to be completely honest. Sometimes I forget it's even on my shelf. This I actually got in a blind date with a book when I went to like a farmer's market event or something. This takes place in New Orleans, and it's kind of like a mafia dark romance book that takes place in like this fantasy world. It says Kate Holloway knows the unspoken rule of New Orleans: avoid the powerful Gage crime family at all costs. Of course, that was before her brother got caught in their chaos. Now Kate has no choice but to confront the dark and forbidding Prince of New Orleans himself and beg for her brother's life. I haven't heard anything about this book. This book does not have many ratings on Goodreads, at least when I looked it up when I did get this book. I haven't read a dark romance in quite some time. The last one I read was Butcher and Blackbird, and then Leather and Lark, and I like dark romance, but when it's the main plot of the book, it's something that I'm not super interested in. I like when the romance is a subplot or it serves purpose to the main plot. So I haven't heard any reviews, but I'm sure that I'll get at least a good time or a good kick out of this. I actually do believe this is part of a series. If I like it enough, I'll get the next book, but I'm hesitant to read this, but I'm always open to trying new genres. And then on to the very last pick for our August TBR. Shut up! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm so excited to read this book. So we have Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. And this is the sprayed edges version that I got at Barnes & Noble's. This is a Dragon Rider romantasy book. I bought this right when it came out, like literally I think on release day, and then I was in the middle of reading Fourth Wing and I was like, I need a little bit of a break from Dragon romantasy because I wanted to really separate how much I felt about Fourth Wing until I read another dragon related romantasy book. I actually really don't know much or if anything at all about this, but the inside cover art is gorgeous. I haven't heard any reviews on this. I just saw that it was a book of the month book. A lot of people were getting it because of course that's when Fourth Wing was really popping off too. It says, Astrid has always known she is destined to die. She's the last Nocturne witch and heir to the queendom of Etruria. Cursed by a centuries-old covenant to duel their heir to the kingdom of Vatra for the source of all magic, the heart. And now Astrid's time is up. She is heading into enemy territory to face Prince Zyron, the most powerful dragon rider in eons, with only her familiar, her potions, and her wits to aid her. She is going to die, and any chance her queendom has to cure the blight that's ravaging the lands and killing her people will die with her. Meanwhile, deep in Dragon Country, Skylar and her traveling troupe arrive in Vatra's capital, ready to profit off the legions of spectators swarming to the city ahead of the duel. She despises the royals and all they stand for, especially as the King's Guard murdered her mother. But when her best friend disappears, suspected to have been taken in the conscription, her search takes her closer to the royals than she ever could have imagined. As the duel looms over the kingdom, Skylar's and Astrid's fates intertwined. They must battle a growing rebellion, their inner demons, and ultimately those they love most to determine if together they will save or doom their world. I don't know, honestly, after reading that synopsis, if this is a romantasy. If it is, I'll put like a text screen somewhere up here. But if it's just a regular fantasy book, honestly, that'll be really nice because I've been wanting a little bit of a break from romantasy, and this will be good. This will be like a good cleanser of romance, but still give me that like fantastical vibe. I'm very excited. This is honestly a really good TBR. I haven't had any of these books on my TBR in ever. I've never even pulled any of these, even when I was like in the middle of trying to pull a 24-hour reading vlog. So this is really, really exciting. But yeah, this is a good pull. I'm excited to read these books. Maybe I will film a 24-hour reading vlog with some of these that are mentioned because most of them I'm really excited about. But yeah, that is my August TBR video.